everyone, welcome to another episode of Ginger Snap Gaming.
I am Ginger.
And I am Snaps, and we'll be continuing in our first video in quarantine, which will date this hard.
We could have lied. We could have said we were doing this during Valentine's Day. This is when it was supposed to be.
But yeah, I kind of got pushed back due to Kingdom Hearts shenanigans, and the general thought that no one cared about this series, but one person did, and thank you, Jared. This is your shout-out you wanted.
I'm sure at the end of the game we'll have a child with Colonel Sanders, and we'll name him Jared then.
Oh, we better. Alright, let's continue.
It's gonna load in all of the emotions. Oh, also, I did not go back to our old videos, so I have no idea what voices we had.
Okay, so yeah, you're still doing narration?
All right. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. Yeah, we are in his lakeside cabin.
Yeah, we spent the night.
You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about, redacted. In some jurisdictions, redacted isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of him. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. I forgot about his JoJo poses.
It's so good.
It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question.
Yes.
So, would you say that we're the perfect match?
Yes, yes.
How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. All things are innuendos. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to man cookery?
Okay, I'm gonna say... I think we've already done this bit.
I don't know, I can't... That's fair.
Because he deserves it. You know, I think we might make a great team.
A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. Ah, is this the bad end?
No, it's the last... Hey, we've already done this bit, I think.
There's still one more day of school, after all. Oh, right, the 3-day university. The University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning, waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there, waiting for you. Crap, who was she?
I think she was like a little... Oh, God. No, I remember Pop.
Which one of us was she?
No, that was you.
Okay. Where have you been?
Let's just go with it.
T-pose! because I had one heck of a night.
That's it. That's the voice.
I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. Do we have parents? What is our... Did we discuss what age we are at?
We have no clue. I know for a fact we're over the age of 18. That's all that matters. It's okay, I was just...
But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam.
Yes. That needs to be a spin-off. Sure, but...
Not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date.
I think I can believe that.
I thought she was doing finger guns because I was looking at the text and I was so excited. Since I've been breaking up with Clink, yes, robot? Yes, go out with him.
Just gonna turn up the output a little bit, make sure we're okay.
Yeah, make sure they can get all my fuzz. Of course, I told them, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. He was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little metallic guy. What is the plot right now? Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control.
What?
I don't know. Oh, can you actually not hear me?
I can hear you fine. We're working on volume, because again, it's the first time in quarantine recording. So we're remaining in respectful distance. As you should be too.
I'm sure we've noted that K-pop poster to our left corner.
And Jared called us out on it, because that is an actual Korean boy band.
You know, wonderful. They got royalties for being in this AFC game. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker?
I knew he was a pressure cooker.
Oh, voice acting. And now I'm not really sure where we stand. Dang it, I'm not getting words right today. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear.
And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him.
That wasn't a date. You what?
Nothing happened but emotional connection. Wowzers. Oh. What?
Oh. Do we read these? Yeah. Colonel Sanders at the... If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. It's much more fun to think about that happening instead of actually listening or reading to it. When you arrive at school... Wow, Okay. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance... Oh yeah, Pop, that's actually Bob. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. The swirly! It sounds delicious. That kid's not picking up well.
It's all over you off right away. Oh god, and now I have no clue what I've done.
I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat.
Oh god, I don't need that. The voice
Stop with the voice acting. Crap, it was Ashley's voice.
And if they expect us to comply with this crap.
What?
Oh, it's my voice. I do Ashley.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, I did all the
Right.
You can get your swirly dip too. Why don't you pick up someone your own size? A large swirly.
No one's the size of Von Von. That's not fair.
Because I'm literally
Oh.
the biggest person at this school. I've been going to like German to English.
You know what? Von Von is the epitome of foreign exchange student. You're doing the right thing. He is foreign. That is his accent.
There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school. Who would dare pick up such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, change of snaps. I'm sorry, now I've gone to... I looked at Vegeta, because that's what that face is.
He's powering up.
Super Saiyan, but it's still on the pompadour. You've got some nerve, change of snaps. This guy can pick on and fence this horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it.
You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Oh no, bad end!
Doesn't look like you can do cooking with that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Never.
Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Ginger snaps! How's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon.
Stop it. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail leaning so hard.
She gets to gloat. She beat us.
Yeah.
Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive.
I'm pretty sure a winner was decided when one person didn't turn in food.
But can you really say that the competition ended if the competition was forced to stop due to injury?
Yeah?
That's why every time I'm about to lose a race, I break my leg. Speaking of legs, though, her left leg must be super strong by now.
Yeah.
What is he doing complimenting her?
But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce?
Demonetized.
Yeah, no, it's really gonna turn.
It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received.
That's a lot of words to say. It was bland.
Daddy. Excuse me, Ginger snaps! I'm more than capable enough to speak for myself.
Okay, I don't know why this started now, but this needs
Maybe it
to
was
stop.
just always happening.
Maybe you could tell me more about your thoughts as we walk to class, Colonel.
I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine food. Sorry, my personal emotions interacted with the script. See you inside. Ginger snaps! Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Angela for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with you take out the spell book. Oh, right, that plot. You take out the spell book you received yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Oh, that's that book? It looks like bad news.
It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in magic stuff.
Just saw a monster. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful?
I can't think of one surefire way to find out.
You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page.
I could use a spell right here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. What?
I told you, we got the bad end because we failed the cook-off. They've been waiting months for a bad end.
Oh, no.
That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie string around your finger.
Forget me nots.
Okay, fine. It is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it. No, you don't. This is the lamest cop-out there is.
Yeah, no. Or do. No, don't.
I'm gonna put my vote to don't. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class.
Like, do you want to become a vegetable? That's how you become a vegetable.
I mean, like, worst case scenario, you actually just remove Colonel Sanders entirely. Because you miss...
Worst case scenario, you only remember Colonel Sanders. Because what if it's just, like, erases all other memories besides Colonel Sanders?
Isn't that the best case scenario?
Yeah, but you forget English.
You don't need English. You just need the Colonel. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice and makes a quick announcement. Who was Sprinkles?
I was Sprinkles.
Okay, thank God.
I want you all to know I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of.
His cute little nose scrunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. I say wait to see. Our active moments have been bad as of late.
Yeah, you're right.
Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside.
Oh, we should have given him the homework. He's gonna jump out the window.
Yeah, but we're a cooking school. What if giving homework is like, you think I'd eat this filth? Sprinkles turns feral and runs out the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off the face. Yeah, that is a hard sound effect.
Yeah.
And it also should negate the weird voice acting, the canon voice acting. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence?
It was definitely Sprinkles. You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again.
After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone.
I apologize for that outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Ginger Snaps, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see...
Before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Dang it! This is a plot. I told you to save it for after class.
You were Clank, by the way.
Even picking up. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? You've been classmates for all of university.
All 2 days of it.
Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing. but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off to your cool kid friend Jeff and Joan, J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know?
Yes.
I'm loving this. Yeah, well, that doesn't make it a great date. Beep. I thought that was you saying, bad voice acting, Matthew. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down to the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. How do I voice act? Beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of all the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep.
Clank, no!
Died of a broken heart, or lack of maintenance, whichever. No amount of seasoning is gonna make me want to eat that, Clank. That was perfect voice acting from Clank just now. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from.
His victims. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay?
Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't just see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. I've never seen that word used in this situation.
Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted by what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena.
I love that it doesn't matter that I forgot the whole plot up till now. It would make sense.
Yeah.
But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk.
Hey, Miriam, are you okay? We need to talk to Clank. I don't care. Clank needs to make sure he's okay.
Miriam's our best friend.
Team Clank.
We have to side with Miriam here. Okay. I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone? Miriam, you embarrassed yourself. Her tiny cocoa was a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy.
I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. That is not a good message to send. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through the final test at Carpool Lane, Success City.
Carpool Lane inherently means somebody's with you.
Yeah.
Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You aren't up to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me.
Okay, I never said that.
You really implied that you were.
Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us and whoever else who wants to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't be settled for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow.
I love that Pop is, in our minds, the rebound.
Oh yeah, no, Pops is 100% the rebound guy.
Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup.
And I bet the Professor Dog is gonna love it up.
I hope, like, the way Ashley and Von Von go down, it's because they prepare chocolate and just Sprinkles cannot eat chocolate.
Yes.
While you were pep-talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch. But that's okay, because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. And it's not studying. It's never studying.
Oh my god, I need this. Sorry, I got distracted and I looked up something. I'll put it up when I edit the video. But Mattel is now selling a Barbie doll dressed as Ziggy Stardust.
Who's Ziggy Stardust?
David
What did they
Bowie.
make?
David
Okay.
Bowie's, like, space personalities.
Okay. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice. Oh, it is studying. To the arena early to practice a dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent. And a chance to beat the pants of a Von Von, the supposed Mon Mon, and his eviler counterpart.
I hope Von Von gets a redemption arc.
In the final act, as planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on. Ginger Snaps's famous chicken pot pie.
I love the fact that the S is even in caps.
It's going, yeah.
Like the
We didn't
S,
write that.
Like they recognize.
After practicing for months, what? Making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Oh no, the Sakura are messing with your dish. Ginger Snaps! What are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam.
Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory.
The pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who is hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. Okay? You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off behind you.
Fess up, you gotta. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing.
I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards.
Okay, I'm sorry. If I ever make a Colonel Sanders D&D character, I have to find a way to put that into his traits.
Extremely keen sense of smell.
I have pie vision.
That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man.
You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell?
Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else.
It's burnt because it's still in there. Yes, oh no, is it burning?
No, I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of TLC.
But Ginger Snaps, you know that's illegal, right?
How will they know?
If it's a secret ingredient.
But it'll probably stop burning any second if you don't pull it out.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I lost the moment of truth. Wow.
It's even in the bowl.
Did you cook it with a spoon in there? It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day.
I really love his cane.
There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules.
There are no rules. It is except to cook with everything you've got. Oh my god.
That was a
This
sound
is a
effect.
Battle Royale situation.
You step off for the cook-off of a lifetime. Step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll push you over the edge to victory.
Oh my god, why am I so invested in this?
Because it's good. It's actually good.
Look at her. Look at her chop. Oh my god.
I need.
Look at her
They're
little
both
cheese
doing
shake.
a weird dab. And it's. Oh, right, I forgot about her weird Zanpakuto toe situation. Meanwhile, both Vaughn and Azon, Ashley, Azuzu are prepping wildly. Dang it, I screwed myself with Ashley. Prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top
You got so busy
selves.
trying to screw up her name. Ginger?
I can't hear a word you're saying over this sound effect. It's canceling y'all out.
What sound effect? Ginger?
I guess background music. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely preparing to go big, going small. That's a nice play on words. I like that. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe trademark, fried chicken.
I'm sorry, it's like, I have to go beyond! And it's like the 12 herb and spice.
It's that warlock staff, his arcane focus, is juggling the herbs and spices with his telekinetic mind. The intensity in the room starts at full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action.
Yes.
Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting dumb. Serious, I mean. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. I'm so happy.
Why can I not see this? Do it. What even is that?
Because you don't need. They didn't have enough money in the budget for all of that. You're just gonna have to visualize.
What even is that? Egg wash?
Egg wash. God, my screen capture can't even keep up with all this action. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth.
Oh my god.
Yeah, is it freezing up on you too?
Well, no, but I understand that, like, it's probably murdering your computer trying to stream this.
There's too much KFC action. Best friend, Baster Blaster. Baster Blaster? Baster Blaster. Von Von flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. How well stocked is this school?
Let's rock and roll.
Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed.
Shallow personality spatula. Oh my god, yes.
She knows her stuff. Even Clank gets in on it. Dang it, come on. I thought I was done with Clank's voices. Oh, real voice? 5 dial pressure point cooking chicken cooking technique.
Yes.
Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English?
It's the singularity, as was foretold.
Expressions right now.
We mustn't let this happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all.
Bacana. Massacre. Self-destruct. Von quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. Did Von just murder a student?
No rules.
Hold on. We've seen Clank outside before. Does he just have a really long extension cord? As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spell book out. She has a spell book? Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic?
No, we're not going to do that.
The Colonel will never forgive us. Yeah, do it the hard way. Who needs magic when you've got passion?
I'm going to do this the hard way.
Colonel Sanders perks up at that sound. Oh, Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. And isn't that the greatest magic of all? I believe in you. Ginger snaps!
I don't need the magic from this book. All I need is the magic of friendship.
Quick, play opening music. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you, Ginger Snaps, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever.
What? Your food is definitely burning.
You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station, cheering for you.
Miriam, what about your dish?
Yeah, oh yeah, she's done. She finished.
Yeah, if you're here cheering, who's cooking?
Oh. Tiny food, short cooked. Is that real?
I mean,
I've never gone. Tiny food, short cooked. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you.
Oh, that's sweet, but...
Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's okay, it's friendship magic. She doesn't need to know your recipe.
No!
It's the secret ingredient!
No! Remember we told her this fake secret ingredient?
Oh. Maybe it'll work out for us. However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she get Eye of Newt from? Who would have thought that was the one that would screw us over, huh? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up in a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes.
Yes!
Crap.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. It is I, Steve, the Spark Monster.
Oh my god, this is even more impossible when we're streaming.
We can't time it with each other now. You know what? All of you just have to suffer. That's the rule.
This is gonna be an echo. Steve, wait, what happened to Borko? You're not here to battle, are you? We Spork monsters are many.
There are many. I think Borko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle. So I say, all right. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of
cooking competition.
competition. I love
this
stuff. It's better
than
than
TV.
TV.
You're
You crazy kids and your
really
phone skills
impress me.
really impress me. Mind if I hang
I I very much mind. Please leave the screen as soon as possible.
I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind?
Steve the Spork Monster notices you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station.
I see what you're up
I
to.
crisscross.
Some magic items and accidentally summoned me, huh? Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in the pot of salted water?
I
do.
I've
Always wanted. Okay, so
wanted
here's what we're gonna do.
to
Wait,
be up.
just stop. You just go,
Yeah.
and I'll follow you, okay?
All right.
Just ignore my
I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, when I was just a little spork pup back in the old country.
You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there.
Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on the competition.
I understand. It's kind of like that time in Monster School that I had fallen asleep during scare tactics class, and when I woke up,
You toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind. I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Is this timed?
I mean, yeah, probably.
The only thing we were told at the beginning was there's no rules. Cook to your heart's content.
So we're obviously summoning extra power from deep within ourselves.
oh, definitely, yeah.
I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win.
Your hair turns mac and cheese. I wasn't ready for that. Hold on.
We're becoming ginger snaps. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body.
Becoming ginger snaps. This is our future.
I love it.
Oh my god. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds are prepared for the entire lives for. Yes, ginger snaps. You are the chosen one. You will avenge me.
The power you'd been summoning immediately fades back out.
You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been prepared for their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery.
I feel like there was a missed opportunity there to reference that Eminem song everybody knows.
That's what I was thinking too, yeah.
You begin to levitate off of the ground. Energy courses through your body. There's vomit on your oh wait. What is the chef uniform called? Is there a special name for it? No, like that. The outfit Miriam wears that I assume we're wearing.
Yeah, apron. It's an apron. Or a schmuck.
It's just called a schmuck?
The apron is like the thing that you wear to cover yourself. But it's also
I just thought that
if you're working with paint.
Okay.
It's basically the same thing. Basically, an artist wears a smock, a cook wears an apron. Sorry, I went to the logistics of clothing.
What? I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. You know that. Oh, you just got really clear just now.
But yeah, I got
you know that.
deep in the logistics of clothing. God, I need to stop.
You know that with this power you can do anything except finish this game. See you next time on Ginger Snaps Gaming! Except turn back time, which would be super useful, because while you were powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven and can't be served.
Oh my god, is this the bad ending?
But don't worry, dear Ginger Snaps. You may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. Are they allowed to help us?
Well, Miriam was allowed to destroy us, so...
Yeah. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches.
Like, every one of those punches going directly to your face on over and over and over again.
I mean, I thought you would have stopped by now, but no, you just keep getting up. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. You know what? This is your final smash. As soon as you hit the B button, you hear Colonel Sanders come on from the side saying, "I'm here to help," and then he just destroys the other opponent.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over it, because all the memes in my head of I'm making mac and cheese and nobody can stop me.
All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time is almost up, so you're going to need it.
Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules?
Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. Especially the rules that regard legality regarding ingredients. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. I know, again, this is quasi rule related to who's allowed to help, but you're just giving us food now. This can't be allowed. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts.
We're making like the KFC Super Bowl.
I feel like what what was just said is the essence of cooking. That's rule one.
Yeah. Are you suggesting?
If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union. I was really tempted. I should have said the perfect food confederacy.
Yes.
With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for.
You must now prepare to present your dishes. Oh, that's useful.
A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. Yeah, Von straight up killed Clank.
It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank?
From off-screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. Clank. I'm flying!
It sounds like it's coming from the balloon closet over there.
He's
Miriam?
definitely doing drugs.
Yeah, Miriam, would you mind?
Inside of the closet, you see Pop, hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants.
Pop, get down from there right now!
Apparently, I don't know what a swirly is either.
Let me guess, did Von have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse?
I thought a wedgie was a salad.
It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything.
Really? That goes? Why don't we just bring a gun and take out the competition?
I can't feel my legs. May I be excused?
Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say, it's not the worst prank in UCSAL history, but not exactly yearbook material. Wait a second. Pranks? Pranks? Clank! Where did the pressure cooker roll off to?
You wait to hear a signature whir, beep, or other onomatopoeia, but there's none. I'm so happy I got onomatopoeia right.
Somehow must have gotten unplugged?
Yeah.
What?
Must have gotten unplugged, I guess.
Somehow must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves
Have you
only
just
4
not been
remaining
watching?
students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it has been a long semester.
Wow, 3 whole days long.
But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish.
I've made I'm taking a moment to bask.
Look at the steam. Look at the steam coming from behind the hand.
That's just her power, her ki exuding off of her.
It's her
Tender udon. Tender udon noodles in savory soup.
My word, it's so
How'd you
delicate. Is that a teeny tiny noodle tamaki? A spy afloat in its itsy bitsy bowl?
Yes, chef. Or, sorry, I don't know how to do that. Exasperated.
Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name.
What is the... We need more world building. Yes, Sprinkles. And some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Oh, so Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Wow, that destroyed me.
Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on, I'm not that one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all myself.
And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much, it was less than a thimble's worth of soup.
A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with such love poured into it as yours.
Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, Ginger Snaps, for helping me to believe in myself. Also, sorry about your meal, lol.
Von, you're up. Now, describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axial urchin shell, topped with caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Oh my god.
No. Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to paw it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Too bad they didn't teach table etiquette at this school.
Please be gentle with my cuisine.
Finally, Sprinkle goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded.
Not my tongue.
The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to the sting. Now nobody can get a fair, judgment because he's...
Oh my god, now I have to do a lisp. Okay. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat?
Dejected, Von does not go gentle into the night. Oh, throw a temper tantrum.
Yes. Disqualified for glamour? Don't discount...
You got it.
This isn't the last you've heard of me.
Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk.
I know, yeah. I'm a dog and I drink milk, get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next student, Ashley. It's time to step up. Now, describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light Rosswort syrup, topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food? At a cooking school? Got toast in your eyes or something? Ginger snaps? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this cooking competition at a cooking school.
Yeah, without any rules.
Yeah, which is why I cooked it, and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I go to a college of eating, school for the hungry.
Oh, dang it. The CESOESOH, dang it.
I suppose you could smell it if you're absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Yes! Why am I so happy?
How do you even judge these food? They're in no way in the same category. Rage overtakes. I just realized it's not Ashley, is it? It's Ashley.
Well, Ashley. Pronunciation. No, it's Ashley. We discussed it. It's like in the thing in the beginning. That she thinks she's so fancy for having her name spelled different, but now you have another way to pronounce it.
And she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. She had a routine?
We have for Colonel. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you.
And with that, I never have to say her name again, so I'm not going to say it again, storms off to rededicate herself to being the best. But this time, without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. You know what? Good for you.
This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself.
Do you think... Does Ashley go on to be something? Like, is she going to be the founder of the Cheesecake Factory? Is that the story?
God, that would be amazing.
You and Colonel Sanders. Oh, no!
Sorry. I didn't realize. 2 chefs? What began as delicious mac and cheese has become something else.
Has become something else.
Oh, sorry.
He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. How did the chicken tenders were added after the mac and cheese was done? How do they have cheese on them?
Oh, because they added it. It's prep.
Alright.
It specified that you have time to plate your bowl, which is stupid.
Uh-oh. I don't have a good feeling about this. What? But we did the anime! From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays.
Just when I thought I'd seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing. It's completely blown me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass.
I know that this is bad, but if in real life I passed a final good enough that the entire class passed, I'd put that on my resume.
Yeah.
Everyone gathers around and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win! What? Oh. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item.
The new menu item is so impressive, even the Von Von and... Dang it, I just said I would never have to say her name again, so I won't! Are drawn back by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef.
Oh my god, look at Von Von.
He's such a pretty crier. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment, to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site for the school's graduation dance.
Oh my god, my computer's dying. Okay.
Go quick, go quick!
Okay, got it.
We gotta get our slow dancing with the colonel.
Oh god, my computer got unplugged and it said like a thing in the corner of just, oh, you have 9 minutes of battery life.
Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy.
Oh my god. TJ Dog is
Come
in
on.
the house. Ooh.
You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist at the age of 7? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Von Von, and no. Tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains.
Oh my god, look at Von Von.
This is so much more sexual than I thought the KFC game was gonna get. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting.
No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws.
Discrimination.
I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing.
What? You appeared in our dreams.
And now that everyone is together...
It's the Spork Monster. He has totally mellowed out.
Okay, you go, I follow. Just ignore my voice.
Everyone, the Spork Monster is no more. From here out, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name, Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. But he passed. He graduated. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? I was about to say it's Pop for comedic effects.
Oh yeah, he passed.
It's Pop.
Everyone passed.
He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. He's prom king. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat.
A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam accept your diploma, so we mailed it directly to your father, who figured it was the least could do for the school's dean. There, it makes sense. Oh, now I get it. And now we get a new wing on the school, not to mention the honor of educating the son of Chancellor of such and such.
The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank, who has arrived late to the dance.
Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth. Exterminate.
Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing.
I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension.
What?
What?
I actually feel like I knew it this whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return. My people need me. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say.
No.
Say no.
You've known him for 3 days, and you broke up during those 3 days.
One date in which he didn't do a good date. Went skydiving. Who goes skydiving
With his
on the first
friends. He ignored you for them.
Besides, no, obviously. Besides, no, obviously.
No, that was Miriam.
Yeah.
I have just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figuring out who you are, Clank.
You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she has managed to surpass you in that regard.
I understand, kind of. Humans are weird.
A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally. The Sakura come on even before he arrives. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates.
Oh my god.
He's so casual and cool.
I know. Why is casual Colonel Sanders more attractive than, like, business Colonel Sanders?
He's just regular man. He does regular things. Just like the first day you met him, he has come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time, it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken.
No, not the end. Shut up. This isn't the end.
We didn't get to...
There,
Okay.
Okay.
No,
that's what I
it's
thought.
not the end. We haven't... As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Ginger Snaps! What are you doing sitting all alone?
Oh, you know, just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance.
I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person?
White hair, goatee, watch.
Deep, charming eyes.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. A spicy musk, a tidy goatee,
Oh.
and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, just to name a few.
Or the UCAOL. It truly is my lucky day. Would you dance with me?
He has silver eyes.
He does. Is it hazel? Is that what it's supposed to be?
I don't know, but dang, am I lost in them? Yes, I would love to.
I love that I tried to be creepy with my deep, charming eyes thing, and then the actual game outdid me by saying a spicy musk.
Yeah.
As you glide across the dance floor, hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off. And I'll be so glad to spend it together with you. Ginger Snaps!
How sweet. We'll work together and play together.
Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? Well, I think this is something I'll just need to do by myself.
But who will help you run your restaurants?
I don't believe I need help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Maybe you'd be better off being a house spouse, if you catch my meaning. Could it be? You found a love connection but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love? The life of an entrepreneur?
I suppose I could enroll at a pastry school.
Oh, my dear Ginger Snaps. I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. The end.
Do we get like the half-baked ending?
Yeah. I guess we shouldn't have done that challenge. He saw that we're not the best.
No.
Kind of good, kind of bad. The perfect summation of Ginger Snaps gaming.
Oh, I'm so mad.
If anything, I'm happy we got that ending. The Colonel Sanders never truly respects us. We're just a booty. Oh! Look at this opening.
Okay. Dang it. I have to go
We
to the other
cannot play through this game again.
Okay, once I'm looking up the endings.
Let's just YouTube it.
When I'm just like checking to see, okay, what are the different endings you can get? Oh my god, there's a true ending.
Okay, but what does that entail?
Okay. Oh my god. We even get the good ending.
What?
The normal ending of the game as a colonel asks you to be his business partner. There are a few bad endings where catastrophe strikes and some where you die.
Yeah, probably if we try to use black magic. As you know.
Okay, the secret true ending is you can adopt the spork monster.
What? I was just looking up some good old Chick-fil-A, and I realized it's Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
yeah,
now
we screwed up with the... Okay, here's the thing. So if we had answered all those questions right in the battle, we would have gotten the good ending. Heck, we would have gotten the secret true good ending.
Come on. Do you remember that sequence of like answering we had to answer faster than we could read.
I'm so mad.
You know what? I don't care. I'm calling this a good ending because I enjoyed the roleplay of Colonel Sanders not respecting us as a person, but still appreciating us for our body. That's the Colonel Sanders I want.
No. He respects us as a person, just not as a chef.
I'm still calling it a booty call. That's all we are to him.
We be a good housewife.
Well, thank y'all. And there's no way.
I'm so pissed.
I'm happy, and that's all that matters, really.
Well, everyone, we'll see you next time on Ginger Snap Gaming, where we'll probably continue Kingdom Hearts.
Bye.